Welcome back to Rooters. It's time for another fall cider review. Today we've got Oak Glen Cider's Rootstock. Hi everyone, we're back and we went apple picking.
Apple walking.
Yeah, we just walked through the orchard. We didn't actually pick any apples, but we did pick up some hard ciders. So we decided to deviate away from the pumpkin for a little bit. And we're going to review a couple of these ciders here. First up, we have the Rootstock hard cider. Shout out to Mary, she picked these up. This is kind of her little secret place that she likes to go to once a year. What's nice about this is it's a huge 22 fluid ounce bottle. And it has a flavor rating on the bottom, and so it's semi-sweet. And it has an alcohol percentage. Mary, you want to guess what alcohol percentage this is?
7.4.
7.4.
What is it?
Don't
tell me. Okay, tell me.
It is 6.5.
Whatever, same thing.
The back has a nice blurb on it, and I noticed on some of the other bottles we got, it kind of breaks down. It has the same blurb on top, and then has a little breakdown on the bottom of what that cider is. So it says, from blossom to bottle, our hard cider production takes place on site at our historic family farm, Los Rios Rancho. The ranch has been farmed for apples since 1906. Our beginning to end method of production enables us to ensure the highest quality of our cider. And this is the rootstock, so it says rootstock, an apple tree that is grown for the purpose of providing a good root structure that an apple variety can be grafted onto. Just like the roots of apple trees, this cider has a strong base derived from the standard Los Rios Rancho apple cider blend. It is a sweet cider that is made using traditional methods which bring out the natural characteristics of our heirloom and modern apples. Once again, contains sulfites, so if you are allergic to those or sensitive to them, sorry, you're out of luck here. But I'm pretty pumped for this. It's got a fairly generic label on it, but it does tell you a lot about it, and I really, really like that.
Yeah, I really like this. It's a really pretty label, and it says this label is as pretty as it was there. It's really pretty there. The only ingredient in here is fermented apple juice. So they do it right, I feel like. We had apple cider there, not hard apple cider, today at lunch, and
it was good.
It's way better than anything that you get in a grocery store or anything like that, because it's right there. It's straight from the...
Yeah, and that tasted like apple juice, but then just a little better, a little bit of that spice in there. So I am super pumped for this. I'm interested to see how it stacks up against something like Angry Orchard, which we reviewed in the past. That whole, pack. I mean, we're gonna do some of the same flavors. There's strawberry that we have. Actually, I think that's the only one that is the same. But we've got a lot of other varieties, so I'm pretty excited to get to them.
Same.
I'm not talking. Let's get to drinking. All right, it's time to see if this base cider is as good as they say.
Who's they?
You.
Oh.
Yeah, so Mary was the one who told me about all these, and I was like, well, let's pick some up when we went there. Little did we know they'd have like 6 different varieties.
Yeah, last time I was there in 2018, they had just hard apple cider. This year they had strawberry and raspberry, and they branched out. Good for them.
Nose smells like apple pie almost, like a cinnamon apple or a spiced apple.
It smells gross.
Wow.
It smells like alcohol-y apples.
See, I don't get the alcohol in it. I get all of just like that cooked, baked apple almost.
I can tell that there's alcohol in here for sure.
Oh, you're more sensitive than me on that one.
Oh.
Not at all what I expected.
This doesn't taste like the apple cider that we were drinking today.
No, and I'll tell you why. They probably added less sugar to this and just let because when you ferment stuff, the bacteria or yeast, or I forget how you make cider, but when it ferments off the sugar, usually from the fruit. So they probably didn't add anything other than the apple, sugar.
Yeah, that's all it says in there is fermented apple juice.
On the front it does say semi-sweet. This is a little sweet, so I would say it's semi-sweet. Very interesting. I do get a little bit of the alcohol. It does say to serve this chilled, which we are. because I believe if this warms up, that alcohol bite is going to kick through.
Yeah, you can definitely taste the alcohol in here. You know that you're not just drinking apple cider. This is hard apple cider. I really like it. Like I think I made a face at the very beginning. It's not what I was expecting. I haven't had their hard apple cider in 4 years now. I was just thinking of the apple cider that we were drinking today, but I'm sure, like you said, they added sugar to that. But
yeah, for sure.
This is not, like the bottle says, it's not too sweet. There's a little bit of an alcohol taste, but apples are there. The apples are there for sure.
I think if you're looking for a super old school traditional hard cider, this is probably as close as you're gonna find, because it's not, like I said, we said not adding sugar, no adding any flavors, no dyes, no nothing. It's just the fermented apples. And so for me, I like that, as this is a base for us going forward for their stuff. And I think for other ciders, I mean, this is probably, in America, when we first came here, there were a bunch of apple orchards when people came here, and they made hard ciders before they made beer. And so this is probably the closest that we have to what they were drinking first. It's pretty cool when you think about it.
Yeah, that is. Yeah, I really enjoyed this a lot. And like I said, you can taste the alcohol flavor, but this is dangerous because it's just so tasty.
And it's naturally tasty too. This has a really, really clean flavor to it. Other than maybe a little bit of alcohol, you don't get any kind of, I don't know, like fake taste to it.
Yeah,
nice.
I was just gonna say that Angry Orchard is.
It has a little bit of that.
It's a fake apple-y taste. Not like candy apple, but fake apple. And if you
they add other
remember,
things to it.
if you remember how clear that apple cider was, this is apple cider. This looks like apple juice. Like,
yeah, fermented apple juice, all in there. I'm super impressed. I mean, we had a good time there today, and after having all those failure pumpkin beers, it's nice to come back and do apples, which apples I think are a fall fruit.
Well, I mean, like apple pie and apple cider.
Hard cider. Hot apple cider.
Yeah.
Is served at so many parties during this time of the year and stuff. So I really like that we did this.
Yeah, I like it too. And I think like going there too during this time of year, like October, November, December, is just like a really cool experience. Like seeing a farm, like it's an actual farm. They had a huge barbecue place there. They have a little shop. I think it's just like a cool experience, especially for this time of year. Yeah,
and this is something you can only pick up there.
Yeah.
And so, as someone who is really into beer, really into these hard ciders, it's really cool to get that.
Yeah, so I think the takeaway from this is if you can't make it to this apple farm, go to an apple farm that sells apple cider and get it straight from there. Don't be going to Vaughn's and getting an Angry Orchard anymore.
Yeah, if you can go straight to the source, you can. You're going to pay a premium on a bottle like this, but we have enough for, there's only half a bottle left. We've each had at least a full pour.
Yeah.
And then we still have another, half a bottle left for a full pour for each of us.
Right.
So all that being said, Mary, what would you rate this out of 5?
I think I'm going to give it a 4.75.
Wow.
It's really good. I mean, we literally drove to this place just for this bottle, pretty much.
Yeah.
We didn't do any apple picking. We did a little nature walk, but we can do that anywhere, honestly. We literally drove there for this bottle of apple cider, and it was 2 hours well spent. There and back, 2 hours well spent driving. I'm not going to give it a 5 because I don't know.
Well,
I don't know why.
I think you're giving a little room for improvement going forward with stuff they add to the cider. This is a great base. I can see you add some things in here, some fruits and stuff, and all of a sudden you get an explosion of flavor.
Maybe I'm just used to like Angry Orchard and like their apple cider being so much sweeter. But this is what a real hard apple cider should taste like, I feel like.
Yeah.
Maybe I'm just too in my head.
I'm going to give it a 4.25. I really, really enjoy this. It's super, super good. But I think for me, I still prefer something a little sweeter. But really, just nitpicking at this point, it's really, really good. I would have no qualms about having another bottle of this. Well, that does it for today's review. I hope you enjoyed it. If you're into hard cider and have something you want us to try, let us know down in the comments below. Like, share, subscribe, do all the things that helps us out. And until next we meet, we're the Brewmatures, trying every beer around the world. One sip at a time.